Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 28. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report that has a lot of exciting things all compressed into this less than half an hour. So grab yourself a cup of coffee. We're going to go through the latest that comes out of yield notes. Last week we did release a video regarding the payments for Q2. Now we also have news on the NFT. We're going to have a closer look at that and a few more updates that since then has come out from Steve, also the CEO here. We have also released a video this week on the Trillant platform. We actually found a video Q&A with Birake, the CEO, and we broke it down into a bit of a video trying to explain to all the members what exactly is happening, what are the issues, and what are some of the timelines. So we're going to have a look at that. And more excitingly for a lot of the viewers in here, we know that Ftmo trading is something everybody wants to get in. And if you don't know what it is actually trading other people's money, meaning you have very low risk, not much really to lose and everything to gain. And Alex from Expert Forex have the perfect one. We hope, we believe. We are testing it at the moment and you'll see some of the first results, and we'll also show you where you can find more details in one of our latest videos. On top of that, obviously plenty of other trading news in here. So let's get started. Let's have a look and see how the last week went. Now, obviously, this is the video from yield notes that we have made that was done last week. Basically, just explaining the Q2 profits and a couple of things within the platform itself. Now we have a bit more news because this particular video here didn't cover exactly the NFTs. We didn't know when they were coming out. But finally, we got some news within the platform itself. So not only on the profit for the Q2 here, but actually also the latest part where you can go and claim your yield notes NFT. So within the platform of yield notes itself, when you are logging in, you can click on the left-hand side in the platform, and that will give you the section here called yield notes NFT. And you can then add in your NFT address, and that can be into a MetaMask wallet. It can be into a ledger similar to what we have and what we definitely suggest that you use. And then it will be transferred over there. That means that it is your cold wallet. You and you alone have access to this particular one. And normally you would also be able to go out and sell it on the open market. It was available for a very short period of time. And then the email came out from Steve almost instantaneously after we have released, or after he released the latest information in here. So let me read that up for you. And it says, for enhanced security and transparency, we have generated the NFTs that certify our partners' investments. With this conversion to digital contracts, we aim to pave the way for increased transparency and trust. Regrettably, the conspiracy group YNL, led by Livy and Nico and representing very less than 1% of our investors, has convinced the NFT trading platform OpenSea to remove our NFTs from their platform. Now, this was where you could actually go and sell your NFT. If that's what you wanted to do, you could sell it to somebody else. Now, at the moment, it has been taken off OpenSea, and we simply just have to wait until figure out if yield notes can basically untie the knot here again. But if you have it in your cold wallet now, or if you are transferring it there, it is yours. And obviously you can leave it there. There's also an opportunity to do nothing right now. So there's not a must of moving anything around. It is entirely up to you. Now also further to this, the message and the email goes here. It's quite a long email, but we're only taking the highlights of them here. It says, nevertheless, we remain determined, what it says here, and have developed an action plan to address these challenges. We are evaluating legal action against the chain analysis. However, this is a complex task associated with high costs. We are in dialogue with OpenSea to make our yield notes NFT tradable again on their platform. Additionally, we are exploring other NFT platforms and evaluating opportunities to offer our NFTs there. We are also collaborating closely with Decenomy to make NFTs tradable. on their Birake DEX exchange. Independently of all that, you can trade the yield those NFT privately at any time. So obviously there is opportunities for you out there in the first place. It is simply about finding the right solution. If it's there right now, I'm not so sure. So we are holding on with the NFT. We are basically transferring into our cold wallet, let it sit there, and then let's see what plays out here in the next couple of weeks or even months. Now let's go and have a look at the SAPP and Sapphire coins to see if there's much of a change in here. As always, we are doing the shared masternoding on the iHostMM website here. And we can see that shared masternoding on the return on the investment is a bit down. It was 64% last week, now it's down to 62, so about 1.5% we have lost. But again, this varies all the time, so don't put too much emphasis into this. What is important is the shared masternoding weekly profits, and we're up by basically 3.3% here, so not too bad at all, which is a bit similar to what we had in previous weeks. Overall coin development is pretty much status quo. Nothing much happened on the coins at the moment. There is not a big volume to push it either up and down. And as you can see on the graph here, it is almost flat. We have had so many months here now of only small minute changes. So the graph is obviously not changing much here anymore. PNY is another one that used to have very good profits, and they still have. Last week, we were up by 52% return on the investment per year. We have only dropped about 1%. But the shared masternoding overall, we are up roughly around 11% for this particular week, which is great. But obviously, it's not really great if you can also have the overall coin development develop over time. And it hasn't done. It's pretty much also here, status quo from last week. The graph, again, it is pretty much copy-paste from the last weeks and months here. And as I mentioned several times now, I don't believe anything is going to change until the end of the year. Might even pull in all the way to the first quarter of 2024 because we start to see some of these smaller coins moving again. Birake is the only one because it's also set up together with the exchange, as you just saw in the email I read out to you here. And also here we can see it's a bit down, 153% last week, down to 135, but overall it doesn't really matter too much because we still managed to get more than 10% for the past week. Overall coin development, however, has basically gone from just slight positive into minus 14.23%. But again, we are used to this up and down here very much now. With these particular coins, they operate in a small little window, and also looking at the graph, we can still see that the graph has been very slightly positive in the last couple of weeks here. So, but obviously at the end of the day, we have to wait for the big announcements coming out, and they are still very far away. Now, Bitcoin has also spiked. Obviously, this is now a couple of weeks ago where we ended up in the 30,000 mark. Last week, we left it around 30,700. Since then, it popped up to about 31,500. Very quickly, again, dropped down to almost 30,000 here. And since then, it has been trading sideways and not really much is happening at the moment. The volume is there for the last couple of days. Interesting to see if this is going to continue or if it's going to be on the rise. BNB also here, we have seen and left it at around the $240 mark last time here. And then it had a drop during the week and then a sharp rise. And this came out still Sunday, Monday. And again, jumped up almost to 250. We are still far from where it used to be, more than $300. But right now it is trading sideways also here at 244. So definitely well below the normal value also on this particular coin. The other coin we're going to talk about here today is the listing of the Trillant, the Trill coin itself. And obviously we have mentioned that several times in here. We mentioned that we didn't have any new information coming out from the CEO, any official information that is. But we did find a Q&A here. So, and that is actually why we have made this particular video that explains a lot of the different details of what is happening with the UX, unique exchange in here that we had when it was called Birake. It also explains a bit on why the coins has not been released yet. And there's other good information in this particular video here, which we can cover all of it, of course, in the news report. That is why we are making these particular videos. So please go and have a look at that. And obviously the staking is also one of the questions that are in there, how you can do this. And obviously you can still stake anything from the short term, 4 weeks at a time, up to the long term, which most people are actually doing, the 52 weeks here, where you are getting a yield of up to 50%. And basically they are coming out in the trill that we want to have at the end of the day. So to be released, or you can actually use them also to buy things on the Trillant site. There's about 600 at the moment, which I also explain in this video here, 600 shops where you can go and buy some of the details in here. But there is also a couple of frauds that they are currently trying to get rid of. And that's also why you would hear that they are trying to get the KYB done. So know your business, basically, to make sure that that doesn't happen. And obviously most of the ones are internally, where there was a bit of a story here in between family members that are trying to set up basically a fake company in here to try and get some of the money out of the Trillant platform itself. Now, if we go on here, so and have a look at the, not the stable coin, but basically the tree. So this is the one that we are currently staking. That value has actually been going up again here lately. So it was on the decline for quite a few weeks. And it has now turned a corner since last week here. It was down at 0.0002750, so very, very low. Since then, it's almost managed to double in value. It did at one point, but as you can see here within the last 24 hours, there was a bit of a drop in the coin itself. And now it's currently trading at 0.0004766. And also the volume seems to be a bit low at the moment, but that has most probably also something to do with a lot of people are going on summer vacation. They are leaving some of their coins alone. CoinStore also here we see the same pattern. So basically they are following quite closely. Last week here it was at 0.0002775. Now also up here by almost 100%, up to 0.0004713. And also here we see a very low volume for the week, only 35 million, which is nothing compared to some of the months where we have 600, 700 or 800 million. Money Tree, well, Money Tree seems to be in a very, very hard spot here at the moment. It was doing extremely well since we have tested this one back in January. Since then, we have seen it time and time again, basically hit the 20% max drawdown ceiling. And that has also meant that some of the accounts have lost out. In week 27, it did quite okay. As we can see, low risk, $714 or 11%, medium risk, 548 or 10.5%. And the high risk one is the one that has taken the biggest hit here. So obviously, again, that is high risk, $410 in minus or minus 8.4%. And that is definitely not very good. The stability that we have seen since we have tested the Money Tree here has gone out the window in the last many weeks, where we more times than we care actually have reached the 20% mark here, where basically the account is shutting down, closing all the trades and then starting over again. And at the moment we simply can't generate enough profit on that particular EA compared to what is being lost. It doesn't look like it has the grasp of the market right now. We have gone back to Leave FX to say, hey guys, what is going on? Obviously the market has changed and the robot has not. And that is of course always the risk of trying to trade the same robot with the same settings all the time. There's not many settings in here, so for the EA itself, but what we have done is basically try and lower the lot size right now. And we have also increased the room for drawdown, so basically decreased the lot size by more than half, and then also taken the normal 20% up to 40% to give the EA a bit more room for the drawdowns and also to get out of them again here. And when we mentioned this to Leap FX, they actually came back also and said something similar here. It says, yes, it is struggling with the market having the runaway trades at the moment here. And they just mentioned here, which works great for the King Robot. Actually, the King Robot is another one from LeapFX. We are testing it. We have been trading this one for quite a long time, actually, but we have not presented this one here in any video yet. We will do when we are good and ready. When we first launched that one, that was not doing so well. Lately, it has been doing a lot better, so we'll have to wait and see exactly when we introduce this one and all the trades in there. So they also mention here that the best way to handle it is lower lot size, more funds, and higher stop loss settings, and then let it ride the trades. Well, we are not putting more funds in, but we have lowered the lot size quite a bit compared to where we used to be. And also the stop loss, we have taken it from 20 up to 40 until we see exactly if we can get this under control again, because obviously this has worked extremely well for us for a long time. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain to see what is actually happening with it right now. We still believe it's a good EA, but definitely it needs to adjust to the market. As we mentioned many times, the market is not the one that is not correct. The market is always correct. It's simply managing the EAs, and that's why a set and forget EA is normally not the best thing. The Money 3 EA do have a version 10 in here, so, and they were mentioning to me that they might do an update here in hopefully the next couple of weeks. Let's see. The one that definitely is not a set and forget EA is the Profit Retriever, and if we have a look at the top 5 for week 27 here, we can see the FTSE 100 is definitely taking the #1 spot by quite a few percentage, $928 or 9.3%. We have the Aussie USD2 with $362 or 3.6%. Then we have the CAD Swiss francs, $353 or 3.5% in here. Euro New Zealand is $303 or 3%. And then we have the US Swiss francs, $277 or 2.8%. If you would have traded these 5 within the past week, you would have made $2,224 or 4.5%, and that is definitely some very good numbers. Now, if we have a look at our entire portfolio here also, which consists of around 25 EAs here. At the moment, we can see the weekly returns 2.3%, monthly returns 9.8%, and history 483 days, really going well. And also here for the month of July, so far we are up by $8,720, meaning also we are doing a lot better than last year. In July, we made $7,644 last year, but we do also have more EAs. So obviously that is also the reason why we have already surpassed last month's year's profit. Now, also, as we mentioned here quite a few times, the Profit Retriever, it is good to have a look at it, not just by daily profits or weekly profits, but going back and having a look at the last 4 weeks. And that's why we have this series on the top 10 results, where we're always looking back the last 4 weeks to figure out which ones are the best. And again, here, the top 10 results in here over those 4 weeks would be able to create you about $10,000 and a bit more here. So that is the video to watch if you're interested in the Profit Retriever, if you're interested in trying to trade this one here. It is the most stable EA that we have seen in a very long time. And as you can see also, the history we have is coming up to almost 500 days of trading. Now, obviously, you can go on our website, you can find individual currency pairs, you can have a look and see exactly how they do compared to our entire portfolio, figure out which ones you might want to trade yourself, or you can also end up on the copy link service itself. So we have basically 2 options in here for you. So if you don't want to trade this, if you don't want to go back and do all the back testing that is necessary sometimes, then you can go to the copy link service and basically set it up there. Link up through Expert Forex, and from there on, everything else is being taken care of for you. Spaghetti Trader, we also have that one. It is definitely a very hard nut to crack. And if we have a look at week 27's profits here, 15 minutes is once again down $183 or minus 1.9%. Also, the 1 hour one is down at $45 or minus 0.5%. and only the 4-hour one is slightly up with $33 or 0.4%. Obviously, the numbers are a lot smaller than we have previous weeks, but we have mentioned here that we are trying to change the settings. We're basically using the crossover again here for when it's actually shutting down the deals, and that means that there's a lot less profit in it right now, but we wanted to see if we can actually get it to a consistent positive part, which seems to be extremely difficult with this particular one. And we are getting a bit frustrated with it to try and find something that actually works. Now you can obviously find more here also for this on our website, where we have both the 15 minutes, the 1 hour and the 4-hour FX blue links in here. So obviously you can go have a look at that and see if you want to trade this particular one. It is free for the Expert Forex Premium Forum members. Now, the one that is really working quite well for us here lately is the Trade Explorer. Week 27, we have the 22 pair accounts, has made $122 or an 83 cents or 0.9%, which is obviously not much. The 10 pair one, which is the more conservative one, made $231 or 1.8%. Obviously, these are a bit low compared to previous, but we are a bit cautious. Again, I have to mention here that when some of the currency pairs actually go into a higher drawdown, that is actually where the Trade Explorer comes back when the price reverses and then cashes in big time here. Obviously, it hasn't done that for the last many weeks. It has been extremely low drawdown, less than 1%, as we can see on our chart, so which is obviously great. But we are also a bit cautious that if we start increasing the lot size too much, we will have some of these drawdowns again, and then that might get us in trouble. So slow and steady is definitely the way we want to go. Now, slow and steady, well, I can't really say that because right now there is quite a lot of hype about the Prop Cruncher. The Prop Cruncher is a new EA that Alex from Expert Forex has launched. And basically at the moment, it is not available for sale, or it's not available for the premium forum. You actually have to link up. So with the copy link service in here, he has a range of robots already set up and now also invited for beta testing. And for that, there's about 6 accounts. And within those 6 accounts, there is even more settings you can pick and choose. And basically, he has asked the members in here to go and set up Ftmo accounts and start trading, and we have started to do that. Some of these trading started on the 10th of July. The last ones should have kicked off here now on the 12th, and we have 3 different types of accounts in here. So one with 200, we have one with 50,000, and we have one with 10, and you can go on our website to see a lot more about all of this and what exactly is happening. And for that, we have also made a bit of video this week, but let's have a look. So just at the results, and this is the $200,000 account we have. So weekly returns at the moment is set. Again, FX Blue is calculating this to 3.5%, monthly returns 15.3, profit factor 2.75. History is 5 days. Well, not really, so because it was set up over the weekend, so those days actually count into it. As you can see, we have 3 trading days. So the 10, 11, and the 12th. And the net profits in here was $1,717, $1,347, and $1,045. So those are the numbers for the first couple of days. Right now, it is actually in minus here at the moment at about minus 2,500. So we'll have to see if it can actually come up to the goal of $10,000 and keep within the drawdown limits themselves. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. So hopefully that you enjoyed all the different details, all the news that we were able to produce here for you once again. And obviously we will be back next week with even more news, more exciting stuff, and even some of the results for the prop trader. So I hope to see you on my next video next week. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.